G'day everyone, I'm the Red Scar, this is Red Scar Gaming. Today is my summary of second draft of Bloomburrow. Had to think about that, what that set's called. Yeah, I did not do very well. I went Selesnya wide, ultimately only won one game and lost three. But, yeah, look, I'm sort of wondering where the mistakes were made, because there's nothing jumping out at me as far as, oh yeah, what idiot picked that card or something. But, yeah, anyway, as per normal, go through each card and tell you what I think. High Stride, I did get only one use out of, really, which, look, I know I wasn't terribly happy with grabbing it just out of the draft, but when it works, it works. It didn't work particularly well in this particular case. The one time I did play it, my opponent played a similar card and just happened to beat me in response, which, hey, luck happens, so yeah. I'm not unhappy with the card, just, yeah, my luck didn't quite work out. Sun Shower Druid, I knew from the start that that wasn't going to be a particularly good card for this deck. I suppose maybe in hindsight I could have dropped it for one of the bigger creatures, but I didn't actually get a huge range of bigger creatures. Carrot Cake did pretty dang well, actually. While it's not a super duper card, it does sort of over the long section of the game. It does actually gain you a fair bit of life and two creatures. I didn't quite get to use the whole two creature aspect as much as I probably wanted to, but I'd go with it again. It worked well. I probably could have had a deck that was a bit better built around this one, but that's alright. Feather of Flight, yeah, once again, didn't get great opportunities to use it, though I did play it once, mainly for the draw effect rather than the whole flying. In fact, I think I cast it on something with Reach anyway, so it wasn't particularly good, but that's alright. I drafted again. Warren Elder, I didn't actually get to play that at all this particular draft. I probably could have used it pretty effectively. I'm just thinking in the fourth game in particular, last game, yeah, fourth game, that it probably would have been particularly useful actually. It's just that my opponent, yeah, well, my opponent probably would have seen it coming a little bit, and yeah, I just didn't get to draw it. So yeah, I'll try it again next time maybe. Parting Gust, yeah, I was a little bit and ah about drafting it in the first place. I didn't get to use it. Did I get to use it at all? No, I didn't get to use it at all. I'd be pretty happy with using it as essentially a counter target destroy creature or something like that, which I know is a bit specific, but I reckon when it works, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't. So, yeah, look, I'm not going to hold my breath to grab that one again, but I'll try it if the opportunity arises. 3-Tree Root Weaver, I knew from the start that it's not amazing and it probably wouldn't have seen much play in this particular deck, though as a 3 toughness blocker, it's not bad, and if I got the opportunity to use it properly, it might have been all right, but yeah, I won't hold my breath to go with it again. Wear Down, I did get one pretty effective use of it in last game, must have been, where I essentially made my opponent's biggest creature its smallest creature. So, yeah, I'd go with it again. It's not really a card that you should ever rely on in this format. That it's not terribly high in artifacts and enchantments, but I'd at least sideboard it if you're playing multiple games in the one match. Beauregard Mentor, I did actually play a few times, and most of the time, if it didn't exactly win the game, it certainly helped. Though the one thing you've got to be a bit careful with it is that if you only play it turn 2, say, it's a 1/1 card with trample that your opponent can see coming. So you got to be a little careful playing it, but I think it worked pretty well for me. Intrepid Rabbit, actually I got pretty good use out of, better than I thought I would actually, but still it just wasn't, in this particular set of games, it wasn't great, but yeah, look, I'm not complaining about it. Thistledown Players is, yeah, another card that I just I didn't really have anything else to pick at the time. It would probably do better in a Boros deck, because it essentially gives another thing, Vigilance, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but, yeah, it just didn't do terribly well in this deck. Druid of the Spade, yeah, I suppose once again, it's good in the right circumstance, because you basically play it as a 4-3 with Trample for 3 mana, which is good, if not amazing. But, yeah, I didn't get super good use out of it this time. Maybe just bad luck. Scrap Shooter, I got to play, was it game 1, I think, that I didn't use its ETB ability, but I mean, it's a 4-4 with Reach for 3 mana. In the right circumstances, it's probably even better than the one I did play, but yeah, I'd go with it again, maybe. Corpseberry Cultivator, I just didn't get to play it, so I can't really talk too intelligently about it. I wasn't super happy grabbing it anyway, but that's alright. Bark Form Harvester, rather. Played a few times, but yeah, I think it might just be sort of the because I had nothing else to play sort of thing, which, yeah, I'm a bit upset with, if that's the word. Patchwork Banner, I got to play once, and in this case, it's, as I said last draft, it's mainly just for the choose a creature type bit, which in this case is rabbits, which actually I should have a quick look. I actually don't, with the power of hindsight, I don't have a huge number of rabbits. I could have even gone, depending on the situation, I could have even gone, say, Druid. But yeah, I'm glad I picked rabbits. I suppose Carrot Cake and Intrepid Rabbit make more rabbits than that graph would show you otherwise, but that's alright. Rabbit Response, I did get to play once, and in that particular circumstance, it was sort of, I had to take the one opportunity. I would prefer to sort of do it as a win, or at least get the win the next turn or something. But yeah, it just didn't quite work this time. I don't think because it's a bad card or something. I just, yeah, didn't quite have the board I wanted. Treetop Sentries, yeah, I stand by it that I wasn't terribly happy with getting it in the draft, especially if I was trying to go a bit rabbit tribal anyway. I didn't get the opportunity to forage, so I didn't draw. So it's just a 2/4 with reach for 4. You basically need to forage, otherwise it's, yeah, definitely useless. Or, sorry, not worth the 4 mana, I should say. Pileated Provisioner, if that's how you pronounce it. I really feel I should know how to pronounce pileated, but yeah, I sort of only got because it's a flyer, and yeah, boost something else. But I suppose in that situation I'm happy with it, but it just didn't do quite how effectively I hoped it would be. Head of the Homestead, I did get to play last game, yeah, game 4, which in that particular circumstance, it sort of didn't matter with the power of hindsight what my opponent, what I was able to block of my opponents anyway, with the power of hindsight. So, but I'm not unhappy with it. It's probably a much better card if you can emphasize on the wide aspects. But yeah, look, that's, call it what you want. Lupine Flower Village. I did play it a few times, but I didn't actually get to use it terribly effectively. There was game 2, I think, that I basically wished I had a plains instead of that in that particular case. So in this particular draft, it didn't do very well, but I'd say that's just bad luck rather than anything else. Oak Hollow Village, similar aspect, I didn't get much of a chance to use it, though I suppose I'd go with it anyway. Yeah, given another opportunity. Hidden Grotto, I did play, but yeah, once again, just did the surveil bit. It's not amazing in this deck, but I wouldn't be unhappy with 1 or 2. Crumb and Get It, as I said during the draft, look, when it works, but when it doesn't work, it doesn't really work. So yeah, I'm not unhappy that I put it in the sideboard. As far as, yeah, Pearl of Wisdom, it's good if you've got an otter, but I didn't have any otters in this deck, so yeah, glad I didn't keep it. As far as the black cards, Ruthless Negotiator, Psychic Wall, and Stargaze, which I still reckon is one of the best artworks ever. But yeah, needs to synergize well with the cards you got, and just didn't work in this deck. War Squeak, maybe could have used effectively. I suppose I would have used it instead of, say, High Stride, but yeah, splashing red just for that's not worth it. Raccoon Rally, a similar situation. Whisker Quill Scribe. Yeah, I'd say that you pretty much have to trigger its Valiant ability at least sort of once, twice in a game. It's probably right in the right circumstances, but yeah, not going to splash red just for that. Peerless Recycler, I did think pretty hard about. Maybe in hindsight, I could have gone that instead of Wear Down, maybe, or even 3-tree Root Weaver, maybe. Yeah, that's a tough one. I do like it, but there's nothing sort of jumping out at me as yeah, take that card out instead. Maybe Corpseberry Cultivator, maybe, which I just took out myself. But anyway, I'll put it back in. Yeah, so Mind Drill Assailant. Look, is good in the right circumstances, but you do have to have Threshold for it to be good, basically. And yeah, I at least wouldn't reliably have had that. And Veteran Guard Mouse, I did pick 2 up. So, should I have kept, say, those 2 instead of probably Bark Foam Harvester? Bark Form Harvester does have the added bonus of Patchwork Banner being effective, but I suppose, yeah, I mean, Mouse wasn't terribly effective either. Yeah, and you sort of do need to trigger its Valiant, as the opponent game 3, was it? Uh, one or three. Anyway, one of the games that my opponent played Boros Valiant essentially, and did very well. I lasted pretty long actually, which I was a bit surprised about. But yeah, did very well. Used those very effectively. I don't think I would have been able to use them that well. Maybe grab those 2 instead of Corpseberry Cultivator and Treetop Sentries, or maybe even one of the Thistledown players instead of. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a little bit clutching at straws, but with the power of hindsight, I would have preferred a bit more higher curve, like 4 or 5 mana stuff, which I know Selesnya is a little, what's the word I'm looking for, loose on, a little bit lacking in, but yeah, maybe I should have gone with that. But anyway, look, you're partly here to learn from my mistakes and listen to my excellent jokes, like the rest of my life. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.